Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here from YouTube. And in today's video, folks, we're going to be talking about YokaiSwap and what's going on with their ecosystem and price action. So let's get into this. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you haven't already, hit me up on Twitter at Real6Fig. This is where you can follow the latest and greatest crypto updates that I put out. One thing that is very impressive with YokaiSwap is that they are launching a permissionless community pool. Now, this is really going to act as a huge launchpad to accelerate DApp growth, things like that. And I do plan on doing a super high in-depth video on this and why this is very important in the next week. So I am super excited about this. Don't forget the halving is tomorrow as well. Now, I do think that this is a great development put forth by the YokaiSwap team. This is exactly what Nervos Network needs, and this is what's going to set YokaiSwap apart from the competition. So give them a follow at YokaiSwap. Now, let's just go ahead and look at the charts to see what exactly is going on with YokaiSwap price action. Keep in mind, this is a third-party chart. I wish I had access to this chart on TradingView. I mean, it is on TradingView by some method. And I think what AveDex is doing is that they must be somehow viewing the YokaiSwap contract, smart contract live to see activity, something like that. And I think that information is being plugged into AveDex to produce this chart. So I'm not a technical person, but perhaps if anybody's into coding or anything like that, let me know if that would make sense to you in the comment section below. So here we have it. We've seen quite the decline in price with YokaiSwap, but I do think things are starting to look on the up and up. Let's just look at this on a daily chart. Right now, price action, it's still quite a ways underneath this Ichimoku cloud, in my opinion. And it almost looks like we are kind of filling out a nice symmetrical triangle or even some sort of ascending triangle off this tail of this very nasty price action. So we don't quite have a 200 moving average. So let's just go to the next best thing that we can look at, and that is the 4-hour chart. Now, when I'm sitting here drawing up time sequence, it really makes a lot of sense. We measure this swing high to this swing low. We can predict a little bit of a reversal here, a little bit of a reversal here, predicted a reversal point here. And now we have this time sequence showing up March 13th within, so this already happened, March 13th. I'm so used to looking at the 1 minute chart because I just did ApeCoin. But yeah, you can kind of see where I'm going with this. I'm not really seeing much of anything to be concerned about. What I'm waiting for is for YokaiSwap to start taking off to the upside here. Typically, once we start to see this 50 moving average kind of start curving towards this 200 on some higher time frame charts like the daily, we will see an acceleration in price. So right now on the 4-hour chart, we can see that YokaiSwap is holding above the 50 moving average, which is great. And we do have a very nice upward trend line. So we do have this going for us. And I do think that price action might be just gearing up here on this 4-hour chart to try and hop up over this 200 moving average. And if that can happen and price action can hold above this 200 moving average, we'll see this 50 moving average curve like this. And this will be what's known as a golden cross. So I'm looking for rapid price increase here, possibly within, the next day or two. It's just hard to tell right now. We'll throw up a little bit of, bear with me 1 second here, a Fibonacci retracement. Bear with me 1 second here, folks. We're just going to measure from this swing high to this swing low. And I'm just going to go back in and just make sure I've got this completely perfect to the point that I want it at. So this could go up a hair higher. Here we go. Bear with me. So right about there. And what's beautiful about this that I just did is that just by measuring this swing low to this swing high in a Fibonacci retracement, we have seen price come all the way down to the 127. Now, on a grand scale, multi-month time frame, this is super important for the health of YokaiSwap. And I do think that this is a very high chance of the bottom, right around this 7-cent-ish level. So I do think that there is a good chance that we might see YokaiSwap maybe even 2.5x from here up to this 23-cent-ish level in the coming weeks. Don't expect this to happen overnight, folks. But I think YokaiSwap is sitting good right now. They've come out with some amazing developments and news since the last video. So that is something to think about, folks. I know the last video I did on YokaiSwap was constructive criticism, and I do think that with the most recent developments they're having, their coin burn, stuff like that, now announcing the permissionless community pools, like these types of developments are what drive DApp development. When you can just go ahead, launch a coin, let's say you get a solid project behind you, and you can present it to the community, gain their trust. If you can go ahead and put your coin and get some liquidity on a DApp or an exchange like YokaiSwap, this solves a lot of the financial struggles that DApp developers will experience. So this is definitely a thing that will help build Nervos Network going forward. Let's just take a quick peek at this too, because we might end up having some sort of inverse head and shoulders on this thing to boot. So you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. Now, if we do have a true inverse head and shoulders, we might expect YokaiSwap to come right up to the neckline, around 21 cents to 25 cents, in my opinion, before we see a shakeout or a little bit of a reversal to possibly form this right shoulder. This is, again, super, super speculative, so I don't want you guys to take this as financial advice. It just is an idea at this point. I think the chart is set up for some good stuff here going forward. So a big shout out to all the Patreons. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you guys are interested in becoming a Patreon, $3 a month will get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner. So I hope you guys all have